Welcome to this episode of Make My Trip Travel TV. I was certain that the photos of magenta, green, and golden corals, anemones, and fish in the dive boat brochures had been enhanced. No actual coral reefs looked that exquisite in real life. I prepped my camera and donned my dive gear as my dive buddy and I landed in the water and sank deep below the surface. The brilliant world below came into view. Unknown diver words echoed in my ears. Through the window of my mask, I see a wall of coral, its surface a living kaleidoscope of lilac flecks, splashes of gold, reddish streaks, and yellows, all tinged by the familiar transparent blue of the sea. If anything, those dazzling brochure photos failed to capture the energy and diversity of life on the actual reef in the Philippines. Truly one of the living wonders of the world. The Philippines is part of the Coral Triangle, the epicenter for marine biodiversity, and what is considered the Amazon of the sea. It is an area with more species of fish and corals than any other marine environment on Earth. The largest fish in the sea, the whale shark, calls these waters home, along with over 2,000 species of fish, hundreds of species of corals, sea turtles, sharks, and a breathtaking variety of other stunning marine life. I came across a newfound friend that has a passion and the importance of taking care of the reefs.
I did my degree in biology and chemistry back in the States. I studied abroad in Australia, where I traveled to Indonesia and the Philippines and became fascinated with the amazing diving here in the Coral Triangle and saw a lot of the impacts on the reef and wanted to do something to help. So a friend of mine from Australia and I got involved with Reef Check Philippines here, and after traveling around Cebu and doing surveys, I became an eco-dive trainer where I teach people how to do biophysical monitoring and understand their impact on the reefs. I've dove all over the world: Caribbean, Florida Keys, Aruba, Cayman Islands, Mexico, Great Barrier Reef, and the Philippines here and Indonesia are just the best diving in the world. It's the heart of the Coral Triangle, which means they have the highest species diversity of corals in the world. Philippines has around 460 species, and it makes the habitat more complex, more interesting to look at, and therefore more fish to see as well. Diving the Verde Passage in between Luzon and Mindoro there, a scientist, Ken Carpenter, said that it was the epicenter of biodiversity in the whole world, and it's just really amazing. The currents there are complex, and that leads to a lot of interesting fish species. Well, resorts can provide a forum for us to educate everyone from bonsai doggets, from the local communities, fisher folk, their dive instructors, to just all come together and talk about sustainable reef management and the impacts that are threatening their reefs in the area. So training their dive instructors with the Reef Check Eco diver course to learn more about their impacts and how they can collect scientifically robust data to monitor the changes.
Community involvement is key to protecting our coastal environment. Today, an additional 30% of the world's remaining reefs are severely threatened. People have caused the problems, and it's through education and letting local communities get involved that allow people like you and me can help protect the reefs in the Philippines.